Got highway patrol over there. 2 days in a row. But as you can see, we finally got some hay on the ground. And we're not talking much rain for, well, next couple of days anyway, maybe 3 days, 4 days max. But the little bit of rain that they are talking about, I think are just going to be little showers. So he managed, it was one of the young kids again. He got all this in the big square field knocked out, which is good. I mean, he's got it all done pretty much now, but I don't know if he hasn't learned anything yet or not, because I don't know if I guess the measures must not be getting out, but he left some grass by the fence here again that he wasn't supposed to do. So now I got to come down after baling and mow it all down with the mower, because it'll make the field look a little cleaner. So as far as the stuff, see, he left a little bit right here. See, this stuff from the bush this way could have gotten cut, and then let's see, from the bush that way to the fence post, that nobody knows about really yet, because I just told the young guy about it yesterday. But all this along there could have been cut, and that's what, it's a waste, because they cut it last year, so this year they didn't. So I mean, I'm mowing it to kind of, and I know that he can see this. I know they ain't freaking blind, so when I mow it, it obviously means that you can cut it with your swather too. It's not a big deal. It's clean. And he didn't cut everything in a big square, or well, he didn't cut it like a big field. He just kind of went up to the ditching and went to kind of just turned. He didn't drive right through it, which is what they did last year. They drove through it. So I guess any raking that has to get done, I'm going to be going around. But I don't know what he got done last night, because I think he was going until about 10 o'clock. I know he wanted to finish this, but then he had the new stuff yet to cut. And he was able to go down in here, which I kind of checked it out last night, and it seemed okay. I know right there, obviously there's a little triangle sticking out. Well, that's because it's too wet there. And I think he's still, I think he's cutting over by the ditch now, over on the eastern side of town. But he just got done doing the ex-mayor's field about an hour ago. So I know all that's down. Oh, and the pickup's still there. Yeah, he cut all this too, so. I don't know how much he got done, so that'd be an interesting thing, I guess, to see. I mean, obviously he got it all cut, but exactly how much, I don't really know. There might have been some low spots. I guess he missed a little bit there, but he did cut it, so that's a good thing. But it looks like he tried to go in there a little bit, which is a good thing. Cut it open and it'll be good. It'll dry out. Well, yeah, he got all this, and all the hay looks pretty good. I don't know how much for hay we'll get out of it, like for round bales, but it better be goddamn well worth it. I would like to see 15 again, but I'm actually shooting for 20, but I'd be okay with 15, and I think we're going to get 15 again. But if I got 20, I'd be a lot happier. But I mean, 15 is good enough for me too, so I'm not going to complain if we get 15, but I would like to see 20. I'd like to really get kind of crazy here and hope we get some extra bales this year, because grass has been sitting longer, and it's you know, had more time to grow. Somebody left their truck here. That's the young guy's truck, but I know that he's probably out busy baling, so I think it would be his oldest son. I guess that's cutting. He'd be driving that truck right now. But he cut a lot more of this year too. I think last year he stopped here on this windrow, but he went one more windrow. So now he's up to that pole there. So he's cut a lot more. And there used to be a little bush right here. I cut the bush down. Now look at that. You know, a lot cleaner now, and more hay, and it just looks a lot cleaner. So he did give I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I know he's not doing it to be a butthole or anything like that. It's obviously just, it's hard to see him. But last year he gave my no trespassing sign, the one by the dike, a love tap. Well, he gave this one a love tap. I already fixed it. It's straight now, but it was leaning over. But like I said, you know, the grass was way above that, so, you know, he probably couldn't even see it until last minute. I'm thinking I might, you know those orange flags that you can get on the back of bikes, little bicycles or whatever? I think I might get a couple of those, and I'll put one on this guy here and then one over there. I still got to put one down there. I might just put it by the pole. I think it'll be alright. At least by the pole it'll be out of the way, but just put like little orange flags on them, so then that way, you know, when he does come by, he'll be able to see it a little bit sooner. You probably can't see it until last minute, but he gave that one a love tap, but he didn't break nothing. Everything looks fine. So as long as they're love taps and not actually wrecking them, you know, I'm okay with it, I guess. It's not a huge deal. Took me like 10 seconds to fix it. I probably should pull it out and I suppose repound it back in the ground, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. The young guy, he was here. He had his old swather here, but he was cutting over by the cemetery. I didn't even know that until I seen him coming over to that yellow house. And I was like, well, what the hell is that? You know, like here he's running that old Versatile 400. And he says that thing's about to give up on him because it's so old, and I imagine that thing's got tens of thousands of hours on it, so he was looking for another swather, but yeah. So you can see the dike was mowed. I know that's another thing you guys were kind of griping at. And some of you guys were griping and they'd be like, oh yeah, John, you can't do it. That's a lot of wear and tear. Yeah, it's a lot of wear and tear, but I did it. I did most of it. I stopped obviously at the property line. I ain't gonna go any further than that. This stuff here wasn't too bad, but when you go up to the bridge, the northern half, about halfway there, it's really steep, so I just stopped doing it. I think you guys might have saw that in the beginning of the video, that I only went about halfway, so it's just too sketchy the rest of the way. So, but at least this looks a hell of a lot nicer though. So, oh, rough spot. Actually, what would be kind of interesting is, alright, stay there, Big Red. Let's see how much the stuff has just dried out since yesterday, and I stepped on it and it sounded kind of dry. Well, it feels dry. Ouch. I know that I see some farmers, they actually bale their grass green. Yeah, like this is dry. Like there's no moisture on it. But I don't think you'd, I don't know, some people get away with it, I guess, but like I think you could, this kind of grass is going to dry out quicker than the rest anyway, because it's a different type of grass. But I think if you really wanted to, I bet you probably could, you could bale this. Because now this was cut earlier in the day yesterday, so it had, nah, see that's a little damp. But I don't think you'd have to worry about rotting. Yeah, that's a little damp. Yeah, where it's thicker, it's still dry, or it's still wet. But you can even tell the difference starting at this, starts 1, 2, 3, and then you jump to 4. 4 is what should have been cut either late last night or early this morning, because I know that I think he had a little bit left here, and then he had that new stuff. But you can already kind of see the color difference. But this might be that actually might be a different. That looks, that's a different type of grass. So it actually may not be ready yet. But we'll. Okay, now we'll check this, and I can feel tons of moisture in that. Yeah. Yeah, so there's no bale on this because I can feel the moisture in it. But I don't want to rake. I mean, the rake's ready to go if I have to, but I don't want to rake if I don't have to. Even though I put money into it already. But yeah, that's still soaking wet. Yeah, you bale that, your bale's gonna rot. It's not dripping wet, but you can feel the moisture on the top of it. I mean, obviously you can't squeeze the moisture out, but it's there. I can feel it. So, but yeah. So this farm's done. The ex-mayor's field's done. The cemetery's done, and then that little piece by the yellow house, that one's done. And he should actually be this very minute cutting the ditch over at the east side of town right now. And then I guess he's done here, and then they gotta move. Then they gotta move to a 80-acre field. They gotta mow. I think it's almost 90 acres. They gotta cut that yet. So but yeah, so at least we're finally getting somewhere. I just hope the frickin' rain holds off long enough for this to dry out and get baled. Still kind of hoping I don't have to rake, but the rake's ready if I have to. Good hot weather like this and in a good nice gentle breeze, this should dry out in a couple of days. A little cloudy, but that's alright. But yeah, I cut for the dike anyway for my mower. I did all this along here right up to the no trespassing sign. And then you can tell over there I only went about halfway because the rest of it was too steep and I didn't want to risk rolling over. This wasn't so bad, so you can already tell it's growing again. But yeah, so he made 4 swaths this way. I'm already trying to come up with a plan on how I'm going to rake this fucking shit when the time comes. Because I got to get rid of these outside rounds first. So I'm thinking how I should do this. And I'm sure the young guy will come up with an idea, but maybe I'll plan ahead. So anyways, this is a swath right here going that way. So I think if I move that swath over to this one, I might have enough room to swing around, and then I'll put them two together. I was kind of just thinking maybe I'll just move the first three together and then leave that last one by itself, but that'd be too much hay then. I don't think the baler could chew it up. So I think as long as I move that windrow and this windrow together, I might even have to, once I rake them this way, I might even have to push them a little bit more just to get them away. And he managed to also cut the ditch too, which is kind of surprising because the ditch I knew was going to be wet. But you can see how far I went with the mower. And there are a few logs. There's one underneath that pile of grass. That standing grass. So I just went around it. Yeah, see, there's kind of a wet spot. You can see that even he was leaving claw marks. But yeah, this is where I stopped because it was just getting so damn sketchy. And you can see there wasn't much left, like another hour, and I would have been done. But just haven't come up with a better way yet to cut it. Yeah, he actually cut the ditch, which is surprising. That's actually a good thing. Now the ditch can dry out. Hopefully, I don't know what he'll bring for. Well, he might end up bringing both balers, but I want to get some video of the Magnum because I've got plenty of videos on the 1086, but I wouldn't mind getting some on the Magnum. But yeah, he didn't quite cut all that, but I guess whatever. It's probably too wet there anyway. I ain't gonna worry about it. But yeah, in a good day, he got about 95% of this field done. He just had that little 12-acre piece or whatever there, that new grass. I think that's a 12-acre field. Yeah, and then the same thing here. He put 1, 2, 3, 4 swaths here. So the first two are going to have to get raked like away. And then I could just put them, I guess, next to this windrow and then maybe move this windrow over. I'm going to have to, I guess, come in, because the rake is a left-hand side dump, so I'm going to have to come in that way and rake it. Yeah, I'm not really too sure. It's going to be kind of a hard thing to figure out, but I figured come on that side, rake this windrow into this windrow, and then if I have to, I'll move that windrow and this windrow, like I'll move this one over and then move that one over to here, then put this one on top of that one and put that one over here. Unless he gets it baled up in time, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of a game plan, I guess, in case I do have to rake. But I guess if we get enough sun and no rain, we'll be alright. And I know that the young guy was saying that all his hay has been rained on at least once or twice. And he's only got about 500 round bales made as of right now. Or as of yesterday, I mean. But and I think he needs about 1,500 to get through the year, so maybe closer to 2,000 now, but so, you know, he's getting there, but it's just so damn slow going, and all the hay is, you know, it just keeps raining and raining and raining. You just can't ever get freaking caught up. Yeah, this hay will be ready to go in a few days. And my brand new GoPro case finally showed up. It's actually not from GoPro, it's from another company, but it's actually pretty nice. I don't remember the brand, but it's probably most likely a Chinese made one, but it's actually pretty good though. So I'm pretty happy with it. then he cut over here. But remember, there used to be a fence here, but he took it out. Not complaining that he did, because I'm glad he did, but there's sticks sitting there. But yeah, the way he cut it, he didn't cut it in there like I wanted him to. He did a little bit, but that's where I took that tree down. I wanted him to get further in there, but I guess because of the little bushes that were in there, he didn't want to risk it, so I guess that's fine. It's his stuff, but if it was me, I would have stuck it in there no matter what. But anyways, yeah, he didn't go through the ditch like I like. I like when he does that because it's less fucking turning, just less shit to deal with. Like, but yet he cut it sideways, so how the hell do you expect me to rake it? Because I'm not, well, I mean, I guess you could still put, you know, two together and that would still count, but then you're going to have one all by itself. But I guess you could kind of mix it in with something, but no, I liked it when he goes straight through. Hard on equipment, my ass. You're hard on equipment no matter what, so it's a part of frickin' farming. But yeah, this is that ditch here, and he did cut it, but he didn't go through it like I wanted him to. And then he left hay standing. This is what really grinds my gears because it's a freaking waste and I hate it. Well, I'll show you the first part here, and this is the part he didn't know about, I guess, until last night, until I finally told him. But now the cutter's done, so he's not going to cut it now. But from this wooden post up to that little tree there, this can be cut with the swather. That's all the new stuff that I opened up. Well, now he's not going to cut it, so I got to mow it down to make it look nice. But for some reason, even though they've been doing it the last couple of years, he left a little bit here past the bush. So again, it's a waste of freaking hay because everything from that bush this way, not much, but you know, every little bit freaking counts. It's a waste. Like I think it was the same kid as last year, so what he was thinking, I don't know. But yeah, he left some good hay behind, and that's why, kind of another reason why I want to take over, because this guy's leaving just too much hay behind. And you know, yeah, we probably wouldn't get, you know, even half a bale out of that, maybe a quarter of a bale. But you know what? You add that quarter bale to the next chunk of hay that you're baling. In the end, it all adds up. So, but whatever. I guess we'll just deal with it. I'll just mow it down, and that'll be the end of it then. So, but I want to go take a look and see if he's finished cutting that ditch over there or not. And everything else is done, like I said. So. Main thing is here, so whatever. Yeah, that was a sign that he gave a lap tap or love tap last year. Now it was the other one. I guess they're all going to get love taps at some point, but whatever. He didn't damage it too bad, so I'm not going to worry about it. But. So yeah, I guess it's kind of late, guys. I'm going to take off. Just wanted to show you that our hay is finally down and starting to dry. So, alrighty, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.